Coming up on this week's episode of Matt's Mind Master Builder Series, Endor or Jabba's Palace. What do I think of all the brand new Star Wars TV shows announcement? And will we be getting more Mandalorian sets in the future, guys? All these questions will be answered in this week's episode. If you guys have a question you want to be featured in next week's episode, drop a like down below, subscribe, and of course drop your question down below as well, and it'll be featured in next week's episode. First question of the day comes from the Lego Connoisseur. Hey Matt, would rather a MBS Master Builder Series Endor bunker with ATST or an MBS Jabba's Palace with a Rancor pit? Well, actually, fun fact, when I saw the rumor list for 2021 and I saw there was a $349.99 set, I thought that was going to be a Master Series set. Unfortunately, I don't really think that's going to be happening this year. I think it's going to be more likely something next year, but I was thinking about what would the next one be. I mean, we've gotten the Mos Eisley Cantina, we've gotten the Bespin, just the Cloud City, so I think it makes sense. Endor is going to be next. Now, this is also something that I would love to see again, especially since it's been so long since we've had the Ewok Village set. I think Lego could come back, make, first of all, finish the last of the original trilogy with the Master Builder Series set, and then they can make it one with Endor. I think there's a lot of room for different things that they can do, especially with the amount of space that they have usually in like real estate and Lego bricks. They could definitely make one of the Ewok Village little huts on the tree. They could also make the Endor bunker with the smaller ATST. I think there's a lot of options, but if I had to choose between Jabba's Palace or the Endor one, I'd probably say Endor. Obviously, I'm building Endor, so I might be kind of biased, but I think just getting more Endor troopers, scout troopers, stormtroopers, maybe even some updated rebel outfit troopers from Endor would be really fun. So I gotta say Endor is probably gonna be my go-to out of those two. Tyrick Thorne's asking, has there ever been a time when you wanted to give up on YouTube? If so, how did you get through that? Actually, I never really wanted to quit YouTube, but I was really burned out. It took about like a 2 or 3 week break of literally not doing anything, no posts, no videos, no nothing. That was probably in the beginning of December, I want to say, or late November in 2020, so last year. How I got through it was I basically just stopped. I mean, I know that I love creating videos and Lego stuff as a passion, and if I kind of make it a job and I'm not enjoying it, I'm gonna lose it, right? So I wanted to just stop. I wanted to take a break, and then you gradually come back over time. I mean, it's been at least 2 months since the last Endor update, and I've now finally started to try to get back into making Endor videos and stuff like that. So my best advice, if you're someone who is struggling with your passion or struggling with getting motivated and you might want to quit, I would say stop what you're doing for a decent amount of time. That way your brain can kind of sort of reset and then you come back with that same like fire and motivation. That's probably my best option for you. Also, similar question here from Wolf Productions, kind of going off with the previous one. Have you ever thought of leaving YouTube? Not because of like school, but just because you don't have any video ideas. Yeah, coming up with video ideas has been something that's been challenging for me. I try not to do what other people are doing, and that sounds really cliche, but if there's already 20 videos on something, I really don't want to make another one like that. So finding video ideas, trying to continually make new content definitely has been a struggle. I would say over the years that I've been doing YouTube, it's been fun to sort of grow my mind and my creative abilities to find what videos I can make. And, you know, sometimes I'll not know what to do, but then I'll have an idea in my head, it'll pop up randomly. So I've never really thought of quitting just because you don't have anything to do. Usually inspiration hits you at some point, but like I said, it kind of stems back to the other question. Just sort of take a break, come back later, and see how you feel. Jedi Pal Productions is asking, why do you think Lego doesn't make that many Mandalorian sets, and do you think it's the case with the Resistance, the animated series? Basically, there's only 2 sets from the show. Well, I think the magnitude of popularity between the Resistance and the Mandalorian are 2 very different ideas. The Mandalorian is one of the most popular things from Star Wars in the past few years. I think we've gotten a pretty decent amount of Mandalorian sets though. I mean, just off the top of my head, we have the Razor Crest, the ATST, we have the Child, we have the Brickheads, and we have Trouble on Tatooine. So I think it's a decent amount of sets. I think they're spreading them out because obviously there's seasons coming, right? We want to sort of only have 1 or 2 sets per season. That way we can have something to look forward to, but also because there's so many TV shows coming out. We have the Bad Batch coming out, we have the Cassian Andor, the Obi-Wan. We have a lot of different TV shows coming out. So I feel like if they only focused on one TV show out of the range of ones, especially since Clone Wars, at least in my opinion, is just because it's a TV show with a series, it's 10 episodes, you know, you kind of don't want to build a million things from one season. You want to have 2 or 3, you know, as the seasons progress and as the TV show keeps going on. CDM Brix is asking, I was wondering if for the mock contest, we could do something from the 2003 Clone Wars series. I've been dying to do Mutilin's mock recently. It's technically a Star Wars TV show. Yes, for those of you who do not know, I'm running a mock contest right now till February 26th. You guys can check that out. Leave a link down below in the description. But in the mock contest document, I did say you can use something from the 2003 animated series. So go ahead, go for it. Love to see it, and good luck. Star Wars Bricks and Figs is asking if you could ever only make mock-based videos or other non-mock related videos, which would you choose? This is a great question. I'd probably say non-mock videos, not because I necessarily enjoy one or the other, but mostly because there's a lot more I can do. If it's only mock videos, it's an update and a live stream a week. I mean, that's really it. I mean, if you're doing like smaller things in a mock, maybe different like smaller segments and videos. But if you're doing non-mock related videos, there's set reviews, unboxings, hauls, other live streams and stuff like that. So if I had to choose, I'd choose the non-mock related videos. If there were no mock videos on the channel, that would severely hurt. Like a lot. Robonut's asking, do you ever get tired of clone related questions? It seems there are so many. It's true. I mean, there are so many people who love the prequels and the Clone Wars, and I really don't mind answering questions or talking about it, to be honest, but I think it's a lot of people in the community who are huge fans of prequels, the Clone Wars, the Separatists, which it definitely seems very disproportionate between like prequel fans and OT fans, but I really don't honestly get tired of any of these questions, not really. 501st Brix is asking, do you think I will ever do a stop motion? Probably not. I don't really have the patience, the skill, or the experience to do that. I can barely build a mock as it is. I can't imagine building a mock and filming a video and a movie about it, so probably not. You know, don't count me out entirely, but don't count on it also. Noah's asking, do you think it's okay to build armies with decals? I'm a little tight on cash at the moment, so decals is the best way to have me build them up. Would you consider custom parts for army building, fake or knockoff? I definitely don't endorse doing like Leppin stuff. However, if you want to do third party, Clone Army Customs, Brick Arms, Eclipse Graphics, Area Light, stuff like that, I'm all for that. Now, as far as decaling an army goes, honestly, whatever works for you. I am fortunate enough to have enough time and money to buy the quote-unquote like real figures if you want, so I prefer having real printed, you know, sort of figures directly from Lego. However, I've also built a lot of my army off of custom third-party stuff. I mean, I would buy the Phase 1 clone troopers from the battle pack, but then use custom Phase 2 helmets. So I think ultimately it's really up to you. I think it's depending on your budget and how much you want to spend, and if you can make an army of 50 to 100 clones decaled or only 20 printed, you know, I think if you want to go for more, I think decals are going to be good. Now, I would suggest you hone the craft of decaling before you start doing it, so like practice, you know, get some practice decals and stuff like that, but I think both are equally good options. It just depends on what you are looking for and what works best for you. Death Strider's asking, what's the best deal on a Lego Star Wars set you've gotten? I just bought the 2018 UCS Y-Wing for $200. That's a really good price, actually, considering that thing's retired. The best Lego Star Wars deal. I'm trying to think. I really don't deal hunt that much. I mean, like, I'll do like clearance and stuff like that. I'm not really particularly in the market for older sets. I guess the best deal I got was like the Jedi Clone Trooper Battle Pack. I think I got it for $2 each at Walmart. Unfortunately, there was only like 2 left, but that was probably a pretty stellar deal. I mean, there are other kind of smaller things. I mean, I've bought in some older sets. I think it was the 2001 like little mini sets for like $10 each, which I thought was a pretty good deal. But honestly, nothing crazy pops up into my head. The last question for today comes from Chandler L. Thoughts on all the Star Wars show reveals? Which are you most excited for? Personally, I'm excited for the Bad Batch and Ahsoka. I'm honestly only excited for the Bad Batch and maybe the Kenobi show. I know there's the Cassian Endor show. I'm not excited. I know there's Ahsoka, which I really couldn't care for, to be honest. I think as a whole, there's very few ones that excite me, and it's a little bit worrying that there's so many TV shows. I'm kind of just in this mentality of, listen, like, we got the Skywalker saga, we got some cool standalone films, we had the Return of the Clone Wars, let's move on. Like, we've been focusing on the story for over 40 years now, and it's kind of getting a little bit repetitive. So I'm excited for the newer trilogies, you know, the High Republic or whatever it may be, something new that we haven't seen before that's not reliant on any of the stories that we know, at least in the mainstream media content form. Bad Batch to me is exciting because it's basically Clone Wars Season 8. Kenobi is like I'm like 10% excited for. High Republic, I am actually really thrilled for, because it's hopefully gonna be something completely new. But my worry is that we are really oversaturating the stuff right now. You know, it used to be exciting when, you know, once a year you would have a new Star Wars thing released, whether it be a movie or, you know, a TV series. But now, I mean, we're gonna get the Book of Boba Fett end of this year. I believe Bad Batch is also the end of this year, and then we have who knows what's coming up next. So it's exciting. I mean, always the more content, the better. It's just, I hope it's not oversaturated, and I hope the shows are actually pretty quality, because if there's a bunch of shows and they all stink, then what's the point? Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you guys have a question you want me to answer or feature next week, drop them down below. Of course, like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. I will see you later. Take it easy. Peace.